Hello, everyone. My name is Nicotine, creator of Issliss. Today, we bring to you episode 3. The lovely cast here is Urban Bohemian, Domestic Dan, and joining us today is Benny.gay. We last left our heroes in a little airn called Night Fairies. It's kitschy, familiar, bland. The party had just undergone a rather memorable lottery. A lottery in the Tazco corporate exclusion zone within Arcadia Farms. Tazco has not been meeting its quotas, and its people are despondent. The new interpreter, Ingman, is less than comforting about the entire ordeal, and was rather abusive towards Ezra, a local worker at Night Fairies. After being reprimanded by his superior, the party overheard Ingman being chided for not sticking to the plan and that he might ruin the operation. Sometime later at the Airn, note was pounded into the side of the door. The party went out to read it, and it said, "Attention citizens, biological outbreak has been discovered. Remain calm." Without saying a word, Pippet got up, ostensibly to check the extent of the biological outbreak, and has yet to return to the Airn. Seated at a table, Pon'n, our sycophant, and Leef, our hound.
Biological... Sorry, reading is hard. Biological outbreak?
Biological outbreak. Which doesn't sound good.
No. Is that where Pippet went? It is medical, yeah?
Yes, she actually seemed a little too enthusiastic about that for my taste. Yes.
Well, we just sit here and wait then, yeah? Or do we go somewhere?
Waiting is certainly one option. Pon'n, Leaf wouldn't know. Pon'n has been fidgeting hands on the table a little bit since they've sat back down, even before the biological outbreak sign was posted on the door. And he keeps looking towards the door of Night Fairies, but hasn't indicated anything else.
All right. What about Leaf?
I'm finishing up my meal. I figure we might as well wait, so... No time like the present, but...
It's a lot of fester berries you've got there.
Oh yeah, maybe gonna have through. They give a lot. Big servings for so little. The last time we had an outbreak was because of the mines, I think, yeah?
Oh yeah.
And that shut down many of the mines, so... Unfortunately, seems like probably another one's going to get shut down. Doesn't bode well for the city.
Well, no, I mean... Aren't you... Isn't it already having enough trouble with quotas as it is?
Oh yeah, well, the cult is fine, but the mine quotas, not so good. That's why you would see off on his side, he's got a a very thick stack of script wrapped in leaves. I mean, the cult is great, but yeah, this is not going to bode well for any miner in the town, that's for sure.
Leaf, I'm gonna have you make a roll for how much script you have squirreled away. We're gonna do a 2d6 roll for that. For those of you who are unfamiliar, Issliss is played in a 3d6 system. Our dice rolls will look a little something like this. So we're gonna roll a 2d6 to see how many company script vouchers you have. Looks like 5. You've squirreled away 5 vouchers. The vouchers here are thin as tissue paper and extremely delicate. Even getting them wet would be, it would be like, they'd be worthless. So the fact that you have 5 of them squirreled away in some leaves is mind-blowing. Seven. Did it? I'm so sorry. 7. It looks like 7.
Oh, even better.
Looks like 7. Still working out some kinks with our dice roller. All right. So you have 7 of these vouchers here. What do you do with them?
Oh, I usually just keep a hold of them. I kind of eat while I'm up in the trees. The cult's not great unprocessed, but it's free, so
you're eating it oh.
Well, I mean, I do a little here and there to it to make it a bit more digestible, but
Well, don't let anyone else don't tell anyone that I wouldn't want
oh no, I
wouldn't want
take
anything held against you.
I don't. It's the ones that don't get. They're not the quality they desire. It's the stuff that you would toss anyway. You see, it's fine.
Cult plant, grown in huge quantities here in Arcadia Farms, is a tall, spiky plant, tall enough that human laborers will have to climb it. But it is very spiky, and it secretes a very mild vitriol, which does contain some toxicity for humans. So it is a little bit toxic, and I think it's perfectly reasonable that Leaf.
That's why you prepare it a little.
Uh-huh.
I love it. As you two are discussing the finer points of cult plant harvesting and husbandry, a pair of eyes is watching you from just beyond your vision. Sitting alone at a table is someone who blends in perfectly. Bloddy, will you describe your character?
Yeah, so my character is just like, wearing some very nondescript clothes, just being like very, very casual, and very, very much eavesdropping, but not obviously, right? And I'm very much interested in this conversation. Can I sneak up on them? Can I tap them on the shoulder?
Sure.
Is that a thing I can
Well,
do?
hang on. Actually, let's roll for this. So your character sheet looks like this. It seems as though you have a proficiency in stalking. So you gain a +5 to your stalking roll. And you may roll a 3d6. And we'll call this since they're deep in conversation, we'll call this a check of 12. We'll say you must beat a 12 to successfully sneak up on them in this bar, in the Airn known as Night Fairies. That's 13 plus 5. That's 18. Oh, sorry, 10. 10 plus 5 is 15. That beats that you successfully have snuck up behind them. If you would like to tap them on the shoulder or whatever, it's your call.
Yeah. I'm just gonna tap them on the shoulder and be like, "You're talking about the mines?
Yeah.
What
Oh,
about?"
Oh,
well, you're very quiet. Yes. Yes, the mines.
That's really interesting. You think the biological contaminant is coming from them? Is it like? I'm very curious about what your thoughts are on all this.
like hesitantly, Pon'n is looking this person over because literally no one has approached or been friendly to them this entire time that he's been here. Well, we were simply discussing the mines and the fact that there's an outbreak, and we certainly hoped that it wouldn't reduce production or output of this. Yes, and who are you?
I'm just somebody that's really concerned about the mines and, like, you know, the economy of the town, really, if you think about it.
Such as it is. Yeah. Do you know much about the mines?
A thing or two, but not a ton.
Probably more than us then.
I don't know. I mean, it depends on how much you know about the mines.
Pon'n just like puts the hands up, showing like there's no signs of work or whatever. Mining is not my forte.
Pon'n, you would know from your work as a sycophant that often a tactic of the Kasat ruling class is to send after their workers a collaborator in disguise, a rabble rouser who secretly works for the Kasat in order to root out disloyal elements. I believe you probably have some suspicion that is exactly what's happening here.
Well, essentially, they said there was a biological outbreak, which doesn't sound good. At least it sounds like I wouldn't want to be down there. Not that I would have to be down there, but I just hope that all the workers are safe and able to provide as is to the best of their ability, as always.
Yeah, most definitely. That's very important.
I don't work in the mines, so it's kind of neither here nor there for me. So I don't think I've even talked to a miner. Most of them stay away from. I point down to the berries. They don't tend to approach me too much.
In front of Leaf is just a bowl of the most disgusting berries you've ever seen, Bloddy. They're known as fester berries, and although marginally nutritious, they just produce the most disgusting aroma, like rotting meat.
Would I need to do any sort of like willpower check to eat one of these without making a disgusted face?
Yeah, you. I'm trying to think. What would that be? I guess that would be a bushcraft. I want to say bushcraft check. Yeah, that'd be a bushcraft check. You're not proficient in bushcraft, so it'll be a 2d6. But you get a +6 in it. So yeah, if you wanna try and make a roll to eat one of these with a straight face, that's a skill of 15. That's gonna be 15. Your check is 15. You get a 2d6. Does that sound reasonable?
Yeah, let's
right.
go. Let's do this.
Okay, so
I'll be very impressed.
you must beat 15 to eat these things. You get a +6, and you're rolling at improficiency, so you roll 2d6. 7 + 6 is 13, so you don't pass the check, barely.
then I just was like, oh, what? God, those are like the nastiest berries I've ever had. Oh my goodness.
You have to pick a fly off of one. Like, the bone flies have come out. Like, they're trying to eat this thing, thinking that it's rotting flesh, and just getting stuck in the festerberry goo.
Those are usually the ones they set aside.
Yeah, it's protein.
You eat what you can. I don't see the problem. Do you not like them?
Hey, look, I've definitely eaten worse, okay? And I don't judge. Because, like, you know, honestly, in this town especially, we've all been there.
I don't think that ain't bad, but, you know, more for me then. And kind of continue to just munch on them. So what do we do with the outbreak? I haven't been in town long enough since this. I just heard that happened, but I haven't been around when one occurred.
Bloddy, you would know that whenever a biological outbreak is declared, the entire town goes under quarantine. So Arcadia Farms is now under quarantine.
Yeah, so I relay that information. And what sounds like, I mean, if they do the usual thing, everybody's going to be under quarantine for a bit. And that's really unfortunate because it kind of shuts down a lot of, like, the economy of the town and whatnot, you know?
That's annoying. Can't get work done if I can't leave the town. Oh well, guess we wait then. No, I should not
Should not what?
leave. I thought it could get work done, climb over, but no, probably shouldn't.
So
I think it would be a little obvious. I think it would be a little obvious if you were working while the town is under quarantine. Don't you?
Well, that's why I said it probably shouldn't.
So, as you're all seated in Night Fairies, this kitschy, familiar, boring, kind of bland Aaron, certainly one of the most lackluster ones you've ever been in, Pon'n. As you're seated here, you know that a couple tables away, everyone in the Airn is a worker of some kind. Either they work with the cult plant or the Pila plant, or they're outside laborers, or they work in mines, or they work in some manual labor here at Arcadia Farms. And they're pretty much exclusively Taz Corporation people who are here. And it's fairly full. It's the afternoon, but it's still pretty full. It's one of the only places in the town where you can spend company script. But you notice a few tables away are seated some corpsemen. And they're discussing something in hushed tones.
What would I need to roll to listen in? Would that?
I think it would depend on what you how you plan on doing that. You can't quite hear them from where you are, so you'll either have to sneak over closely or concentrate very, very hard.
I think I'm fine concentrating, actually.
All right.
Just trying to listen real careful. Kind of like what I would if I was listening for any predators.
Okay. Then if you're going to listen like you would for predators, we'll make a detect roll for you. This will be a roll that you are proficient in.
Yes.
That gives you a +6 to your roll. And we'll make the check 15, as it's pretty significant distance from your table, and there's a lot of background noise. So you get a 3d6 roll, and you get +6 to your total. Oh no. That's a total of 12. You just missed it. But there is no consequence for this.
Probably see me just staring a lot at the berries, just kind of concentrating a bit too hard.
Are you a little over? I thought you were used to the smell.
Oh, no, this is fine. I was just trying to listen. It's nice to hear my surroundings, you know.
Do you indicate to the people at your table who you're trying to listen to?
Yeah, I kind of do one of the, like, just lean my head a little bit to the side, like, trying to be subtle.
Do you pick up on it, Pon'n?
Like... This is the most sophisticated he's ever seen Leaf at this point. Yeah, kind of following the head tilt, like... because there'd be nothing else to like need to listen to, so kind of following the head tilt, and maybe actually yes, Pon's gaze kind of also falling on the corpseman.
Okay. What about you, Bloddy? Do you pick up on Leaf's little cue here?
Yeah.
So, Bloddy, as a prowler, you have a unique ability to conduct stealth, and you could solve this problem another way. All of you can solve this problem in your own special way, and some of you may be able to help each other.
I'm gonna like walk around the bar in a seemingly natural way, but in such a way that I like linger close enough to these people to eavesdrop on them for like a minute.
Okay.
While I'm like doing a lap.
All right.
Around.
So for you, that's a stalk check. Leaf, you are also trained in stalk and could offer assistance if you so desire.
Yeah, I think I'm invested enough that I am curious. I don't know who this is, and I'm not exactly trustworthy of a person who won't give their name when asked after they sit down at their table. But my curiosity is overriding that red flag.
How would you like to assist? How would you like to assist the stranger at your table?
I think I see them kind of heating up and doing a loop. I think I'll do the distraction play. So I'll get up to specifically walk past, but to get more berries. So
all right.
It's to look. I'm trying to look completely like I'm going to get more food. But at the same time, kind of doing a pass by as well. Maybe not super close so they don't stop their conversation due to the scent.
Anybody carrying around a big bowl of fester berries is going to draw attention, so that's excellent.
That was the idea. But far enough away that they might catch it but not stop. They might just kind of, but not like walk past it.
Yeah, that's excellent. Okay,
I'm definitely gonna keep my distance from Leaf in my approach.
In Night Fairies, in the air, which is a closed space with not a ton of airflow, Bloddy has stepped up from the table and walked a long loop around the bar, avoiding deftly the corpsemen at their table and their gaze. Given that Leaf has now stood up and walked past the corpseman with a distraction, a bowl of distraction berries, we're going to give you a +1 to your roll, Bloddy. So you'll be rolling a 4d6 against 15 with a +5. Eight plus 5 is 5, 6, 7. Oh no, 13. As you stand up, as you're standing near the table, you overhear one of the corpsemen saying something to the effect of, I can't believe people eat that stuff. It's disgusting. Who would do such a thing? I don't know, it's like they have no great food around here. Like, they don't get the same kind of things that we do in the building, you know? Yeah, I guess, but awful. Like maggots or something. Bone flies. All you can really ascertain is that they just the overwhelming amount of disgust that they have for Leaf. That's about all you can gather.
Amazing.
They huddle a little closer, as if to take comfort from the filth around them, and continue whispering.
If I get back to the table before Leaf does, I'm just gonna turn to Pon'n and be like, they genuinely stopped their conversation to talk about how nasty Leaf's berries are. Is this a regular thing that happens? Like, is this a regular topic of conversation, or have you two moved past this as like a thing that Leaf is like doing on a regular basis?
I've only just met him today. It is a very disgusting habit, and I decided it was wiser to move on.
I honestly, I get that. That tracks so hard.
Leaf, you sit back down at the table with some fresh fester berries. Fresh, quote unquote.
They were probably picked today. It's fine. Well, anything interesting?
Leaf, I'm gonna be real with you. Everybody's talking about your berries, so no press is bad press, and you know on that front you're killing it. In a similar way that those berries smell like something has been killed.
They are rather pungent, but they taste wonderful. And they're very cheap. No one wishes to buy them for some reason.
It's a real mystery, I think.
Pon'n, you are aware that these berries are mostly used as livestock feed.
I mean, I know there's a shortage here and supplies are scarce. I applaud you for finding something to eat on a regular basis. So they stopped conversation because of the berries. Okay.
Oh, that's weird.
Out of the
Think
corner.
they have,
Oh, sorry, go ahead.
no, just that they have more important things to do.
Out of the corner of your eye, Leaf, you see the two corpsemen stand up and begin to walk towards a big set of double doors on the far side of the bar. You know this to be a connected apothecary, basically. It's called Pedalson's. It's like a tiny general store. It's hardly ever got anything in it, but they're in there. They've just walked in, away from you.
I don't know what we should... Is there anything? We can't really do anything about the outbreak. We just have to wait. Do you know how long they tend to last? The, outbreak or the quarantine or both?
I mean, we could always see what's going on in the mines.
That seems like a terrible idea. Just pointing it out.
Don't they guard? Wouldn't they guard against breaking quarantine?
The town is in quarantine, but I don't know if the mines are. They probably honestly have them keep working, even if there's an outbreak, so as to not lower the output.
It wouldn't be my first time finding my way around town during a quarantine.
Well, Far be it from me to question or doubt your expertise, but it still might help if we knew your name.
My name is Bloddy.
Pon'n just like breathes the sigh of relief. Okay. It's a pleasure to meet you, even under these circumstances. Thinking about Leaf's berries.
Yes, it is wonderful to meet you both.
Thanks. I'm Leaf, by the way. Leaf, son of Leaf.
It's nice to meet you, Leaf.
So we could just go to the mine?
I mean, you could just go anywhere if you really think about it.
That is true. I wondered if we could find Pippet there. That's probably where Pippet went.
Oh, undoubtedly.
But I remember she said she met me. I think. I'm pretty sure. I don't remember her immediately, but
I believe she meant that she knows she studied what you do. She hasn't studied you.
oh, that makes a lot more sense.
Yes.
I had
But-
thought that maybe I'd forgotten her face, or maybe I saw her at one point, and I don't know. But that makes more sense.
I
Okay.
mean, there's certainly no discounting anything, but I do know that she and I have both not been here recently, so it's unlikely.
But that would track more. Well, maybe we should see if we could find her, and the mines would be a good place to start. Brody, I'm curious, what is your interest in the mines and the outbreak?
I'm a bit of a collector of random things, and there's always nice random things to find in interesting new places.
Seems pretty reasonable to me now that I think about it.
Pon'n has put two and two together and just kind of holds his cloak a little closer to him.
Bloddy, you feel more than you hear the sound of a slamming door. Not in Night Fairies, but what you suspect to be Pedalson's next door.
I think I'm gonna go to that store to buy a random thing, or at least to make it seem like I'm gonna buy a random thing in a very normal way, very subtle. And I'm gonna also invite Pon'n and Leef and be like, "Do you want to check out that apothecary and see if there's anything worthwhile?"
I mean, it could be good to get some sort of, well, medicine of any kind if there's an outbreak.
I mean, surely they'd have curatives. I would hope that they would have some.
Not a bad idea then. Sure. Leaf gets up,
All
gets
right.
a little pouch and puts the rest of the berries in and cinches it.
Can you make sure to close that very tightly, please?
Oh yes, no, the sinews do a very good job.
Good.
Party rises from their table and walks over to the double doors. The Pedalsons. You open the doors, and all three of you walk in. Inside of Pedalson's, it is dimly lit. Doesn't have the same kind of lighting setup as Night Fairies. And once you're inside of Pedalson's, you begin to feel like something is looking at you. Something is watching you. Domestic Dan Leaf, you will probably feel this sensation first. I'm going to have you roll a detect roll.
Yes.
Since you're trained in detect, that's a 3d6. 8 plus 5, I believe. Yeah, plus 6. So, sorry, 16 plus 6. Yeah, that's more than enough. Leaf, you look up to the rafters of Pedalson's. You notice it's much quieter in here. And although it's dark, you can make out a large pair of yellow eyes. They're wide and they are staring right at you.
I'd like to make a note too. I do have an ability that would also have helped here, which is arachnid anticipation. I cannot be surprised.
Oh, so you don't even have to roll.
Yeah, but it fit anyway.
You just look up and see a huge pair of eyes staring down at you, probably the size of a saucer for tea. Two of them.
Probably give a wave and then keep moving. Just letting them know I know they're there.
You hear a void from the rafters. You hear it kind of make a little. You hear it make a little sound, and then you just hear some skittering away to another dark corner of the rafters. You hear a voice saying, "Is someone there?"
Yes. Is that the right response?
We are here, so yes.
What do you want? Anything in particular?
There's been an outbreak.
Come closer, I can't hear you. Come closer.
Where is the coming closer coming from?
You understand that they're just behind some of these cramped trinkets and stacks. You understand that there's probably a counter somewhere, and you just start wandering, looking for it.
As that's happening, like Pon's voice gets louder. Some curatives. Panacea.
As you round
Antitoxin?
round a stack here, you find just a tiny little woman, just a tiny old woman, standing, I think, behind a counter. She has spectacles, and upon closer inspection, you can actually make out that she is one of the spectacles is covered, blinded on one side.
His
What did
voice
you
has
say you
gotten
needed?
as high, and it just comes down immediately. Preventatives.
You're looking for preventatives? Is that what you want?
There's been an outbreak, and I just want to make sure that we are as safe as we can be.
Oh, there's always some kind of outbreak or some such thing. I never pay it no mind. Neither should you.
Literally does not know what to say at that.
You can hear the skittering again.
I
coming
think
closer.
She sounds like a wise woman.
Okay, well, if there's no need to worry about it, you have no medicines for it just in case something happens?
Look, kiddo, I've got maybe two curatives left. That's for the whole town, by the way.
So that's a no then.
Well, it means they're gonna be kind of expensive. How many vouchers you got?
Enough. How many do they cost?
I don't work on credit.
No, I have vouchers. I just want to know how much.
Everybody's always trying to work on credit with me.
I still have vouchers.
What's your name? I haven't seen you around here.
Leaf, I do the cult.
Oh, you're one of those cult weirdos. That's right. Always up there licking those plants, trying to get high on them.
Don't think I've done that.
I know your type. You can't get high on a cult plant. Trust me. Trust me.
Oh, you one of the weirdos too?
No. No.
I was
no.
gonna say I don't have any on me because I haven't done a harvest.
You don't have any on you? Not one tiny bit?
No,
Just a nip?
no.
Just a little nip?
I got some faster berry.
Ah. Ugh. Bloddy, what are you doing here? Have you made it up to the counter?
I'm just kind of like I'm like pacing around the like apothecary and kind of just like grazing my fingers along all of the different trinkets and like the shelves and stuff like that.
Sure. You notice
Kind of like
that this whole place appears to be full of junk. The things that are in the stacks here are not things you would normally find at a Pedalson's. It's things like broken pieces of equipment and like bits and pieces of wood, which in Issliss is rather strong. It's rather hard. It's almost metallic. You notice that there seems to be a lot of dirt on the ground, and you've stepped in something. Some kind of dropping.
Do I know like what it's from? Is it from a cat?
Well, you are trained in bushcraft. You could you could roll for it.
I will do that.
Okay, that's a 3d6 roll, and it's a pretty familiar one. So probably the number to beat would be a we'll say an 8. You're trained in bushcraft. That gives you a +5 to your roll. Yeah, so you roll a 9 +5 is 14. You beat it. You understand that the thing you've stepped in, almost slipped in, is a dropping from a creature called a Doska. It's about the size of a large Maine Coon. It's got some webbing in between its limbs, its spindly limbs. It's long, it's lanky, but it's got a wide head with huge eyes, and it mostly lives in people's homes because it's domesticated. It can't really survive in the wild, and you know that there are a lot of things out there that would eat it, given the chance. So it's like a cat, kind of.
Cool. Then I'm gonna like approach the lady. Actually, I'm not gonna approach. I'm just gonna keep walking around, like continuing to like just sort of like tap my fingers on like all of the little trinkets and stuff, and just say, "How can you afford such a pet in a town like this when your store is full of junk?"
Are you talking to me? What did you say? Who is that? Get over here! You're upsetting Hamlet!
I very casually but slowly stroll up to her. And I just ask, how can you afford to keep a pet like this?
You see the Doska squirm its way down back behind the counter. Its long form is kind of even more elongated. You can see its fur. It's kind of moves in like a serpentine almost way, but it is mammalian as far as you know. It's got short little ears, like it's made for sticking its face in some kind of hole, eating some awful grub. It looks up at you from behind the counter with the old woman, and you notice some similarities. Also large eyes, also tiny, also just kind of mean. Hamlet disappears back behind the counter. You're upsetting Hamlet. What did you say to me? What did you say to me?
I was just curious how you could afford a pet like that, but no means to upset your pet. I don't want to bother Hamlet in any way.
Yeah, it's not for sale. Hamlet's not for sale. You can't have it.
Okay.
Anyway, what did you say you wanted?
At this point, can I like look around to see if there's any like sort of shady dealings that she's like obviously up to if she's not selling like normal real person things at this store?
Yeah, sure. Absolutely. You can make a little roll for me. That'll be a. We'll call it a detect roll. You're trained to detect. You get a +4 to that roll, and we'll say it's a 10. You'll have to beat a 10. So 3d6. You get a 12 +4, so 16. Yeah, you easily see a lockbox behind the counter. You recognize it as something like a file cabinet. You've seen people put, files and things like this in boxes just like this behind most. You've been to a Pedalsons before, other Pedalsons, and you know exactly where to look for the lockbox, and it's there. And she seems like she uses it. So there's probably a ledger in there if you wanted to find a way to get it.
Cool.
So we're fine. We don't need anything for this outbreak, this quarantine.
Look, kid, there's always some kind of quarantine or some kind of outbreak, and I've been here for 30-some years, and it's always the same. And if I'm still here, surely you'll still be here too. But I have a couple of curatives if you really want to buy them.
Well, again, my friend was asking, how much?
I'll take a voucher for each one of them.
Fair enough.
Do you produce a voucher?
Leaf
no,
does. He pulls out one
Leaf.
last
Yeah, looks to
voucher,
Leaf.
actually.
Leaf
Yeah.
peels off a voucher from the stack of 7 vouchers in the Leaf purse. You see the old woman just kind of take the voucher really delicately and just kind of. It seems legitimate. Puts it
I
down
hope so.
on the thing, gingerly lays it down, 2 of them, and produces 2 curatives.
I just gave her one.
Oh, you only want 1. All right, then she only takes 1, and then produces 2 curatives. Let's take a look here. You can have 1 vial of elixir. Elixir heals 2 health, and it's in your bloodstream for 24 hours.
All right. Evaded date.
So, do you want anything else?
It's all I wanted. Stick in my bag.
Has there been anyone else here worried or concerned about the outbreak? Everyone seems really calm about it. That seems odd. Is that normal?
I'm gonna have you make a persuasion check for me, Pon'n. As a sycophant, you are heavily trained in the skill and art of persuasion, particularly among Kassant and among humans. Your persuasion skill is something that you're proficient in, and it also gives you a +8. So I'll make the check here 10. No, I'll make the check here 13. It'll be a 13. You'll roll a 3d6 +8. So yeah, that's 15. Is that right? No, it's 17. Yeah, you easily pass this. The old woman looks up at you and just says, "Look, I'm not such a fan of the corpsemen in this town, especially not the new one. Yeah, they were here earlier. They were muttering something about the mines, being all secretive and weird."
Well, I'm sure nothing escapes you in your store.
That's right. Yeah, that's right. Nothing is. That's right. Yeah. Nothing escapes me in his store. Me or Hamlet. Hamlet didn't like him either.
I'm liking Hamlet more and more every moment.
Because he's adorable, aren't you? Ow! Ow! Adorable.
Since you obviously know there's nothing to worry about, then what did they have? Like, what were they muttering about? Since now I know from you, there's no problem. It's just an outbreak. It's just a quarantine. They come and go. So what could get corpsemen so riled up?
The old woman leans in closer and encourages you to do so. She leans in and she says, look, I'm not much of a gossip, and if this gets back to me at any point, I'll deny it up and down. They'll nail you to the wall for it. But when those corpsemen were in here, and they were talking about some kind of operation that they was doing in the mines, and they said that it was almost complete and that they had all the supplies they needed. They just needed a couple of special deliveries that had come here to Peddleson's, and I gave them to them. And they said they was going to those mines. And they said something about how the quarantine wasn't actually a real quarantine and it was just a cover, and that's all I know. And listen, you didn't hear it from me.
Of course not. No, I never heard a thing.
I really hate those corpsemen.
They're pretty, yeah, they're not great a lot of the time.
They're not in the job of being liked.
Anyway, the store's for customers only. You guys gonna buy something or what?
I did, but okay.
Okay.
Thank you. And Leaf walks out.
Okay. Do you walk out
Did we come
into Night Fairies, or do you walk out into the street?
Yeah, I was gonna say, did we come here through Night Fairies?
Yeah, there's a door. They share a door, an interior door, but you can go on either side. You
Yeah,
can
I
leave
go-
onto the street if you want.
Right onto the street,
All right,
kind of looking toward the mines.
sure. You hear a little ring. You open up the door.
Pon'n does check back over the store and the shelves to see if he can see any signs of Bloddy.
Do you? Bloddy, where are you? Are you still within view?
I walk out when Leaf walks out.
Okay. All right, cool. So it's just you, Pon'n.
Then I am very... I'm just like, well, everything certainly seems to be in order here. I suppose that I should leave.
Hey, wait, before you go, just know that, those corpsemen, they're dangerous, right? They're dangerous folks, so just be careful, all right?
Yeah, Leaf holds up Pon'n holds up a bandaged... I forgot who I was. Holds up a bandaged hand and says, yeah, I know. Thank you.
All right. And as you exit the store, you just hear the voice of the old woman, "Close the door behind you, you're gonna let Hamlet out." You can see the friggin' thing up in the top corner trying to paw its way through the door as you're trying to leave.
Okay, yeah, just even an extra kind of shove behind, like, no, the store's staying closed.
The Tazco remains contained for now. And as the party make their way out onto the street towards the mines, we'll take our break here. We'll be right back in the next 5 minutes. Make sure you grab some water and check out our Kickstarter. We're live on Kickstarter at this very moment, so check out the Kickstarter. Hit the follow button here on Twitch. We'll be right back with more Issliss Episode 3. Stay tuned. Welcome back to Issliss. Where we last left our party, they had just left the local Peddlesons. They'd spoken to an old woman who despised the corpsemen, and led our party in on a little tip. That perhaps the outbreak wasn't all that it seemed, and maybe something was going on in the mines. party are now making their way steadily towards the foothills of Arcadia Farms, where you know the nearest mine in the Tazco corporate exclusion zone.
Probably not the best idea to just walk in.
So as we're making our way, like, I'm gonna pick up, like, if I see one, like a little, like, half-smoked cigarette from the ground and start, like, poofing on it as we, like, make our way. We should probably be right outside the building we left, or, like, somewhere along the path.
I just like find one on the street,
Yeah.
like a half smoked, not even in like an ash.
Yeah.
There's no ashtrays or anything, so it's just like on the ground, kind of dirty.
Yeah.
The cigarettes in Issliss are made from a cult plant fibrous byproduct. So while you can like grind them up and smoke them, it's really harsh. It smells terrible, but it does give you a buzz, and it does get you a little bit high. You successfully have found just a dirty half-smoked cigarette on the ground, and you're now smoking it.
Is any part of that a good idea right now?
I think every part of this is a good idea.
Okay.
Upon the scent of it is astoundingly bad to you.
Which one wins, Festerberries or this skunky?
Well, at least the cigarette is outside.
Fair. Far be it from me to deny anyone their vices. What exactly are we going to do when we get to the mines?
Enjoy the sights? Is joke. I'm not sure.
Yes, I suppose it was.
Look around. I mean, you mentioned the word blackmail. I'm not very... Well, I can be okay at getting the things. It's a matter of the speaking and, telling them that they have the blackmail.
I mean, if you're of the mind, I'm certain there's something of value off that way. They're not mining nothing, that's for certain.
And it did sound like whatever's going on down here, they don't want anyone to know about. So...
Could be... Well, you did kind of get rid of your token that gave you the ability to have a place to sleep.
I hadn't thought about that. Thank you, Leaf.
Oh, you're welcome. I mean, you could join me in the trees if you like, but...
I Perhaps we take a look and... I don't know. Pipette took off the moment that we read the sign, so at the very least, she's probably down here. I don't know if that's a good idea or a bad idea either.
Yeah. Easier for her to have an excuse. That is also true. Well, we can see if we find her. Maybe find something that can give an advantage while you stay here. Because, as long as they're not hurting anyone, I mean, doesn't really matter if they're doing something shady.
Both of you look to Bloddy.
I just kind of look around and I'm like, so you keep talking about this Pipette person. Is that your friend, or...
I met him today.
she's the other person so far here in Arcadia Farms I've spent the most time with, so sure.
So y'all are meeting a lot of folks today.
Yes.
It's been an interesting day, yes.
That's pretty exciting. I'm certain that y'all are gonna have a wonderful time in this town that definitely is fantastic.
It's alright.
Okay, he didn't hear that. I did. I get it. I understand. It's bleak here. I'm out of my element, and thank you for your guidance so far today. It's been
It's
very
okay,
appreciated.
As you approach, you, all three of you stop and can see now the entrance to the mine. The Tazco Mine entrance is a rather large, cavernous entrance with a door, big wooden door, and a big wooden frame to cover the entrance to this mine. There are some tracks. You're both well aware that there are mining tracks for carts that go back and forth from inside of a mine like this. Mines such as these are kind of rare. It's not very often that you'll find a mine that digs down into the earth in Issliss. But you find one here. You also know that mines such as this are often cordoned off by a rather large wall. And you find a rather large wall before you as well. Like a huge fence almost. There's an entrance, and it appears unguarded.
I'm going to use my spider walk to climb up on top of the wall.
Sure, yeah. You easily climb this clay-looking wall. It's much tougher than clay when you touch it. Probably some kind of stone that's just been molded over time by rain, wind. Easily, right up the side of the wall and over the other side. What next?
So what I'm gonna do is when I'm at the top of the wall, I'm gonna let my rope down, and I'm gonna to Pon'n, right, and tell him to grab the rope, and I'm gonna grab the other end of the rope so that I can be on the other side. So there's a weight to it, so that Pon'n can climb up, and then so that Leaf can climb up.
Do you go for that, Pon'n?
Is it apparent that that there's an entrance that could just be opened?
There is, yeah. There's a door some ways, some ways down the fence line, and it appears
we're
unguarded.
We're okay. No, I get it now. Okay. I thought we'd come up closer to the door. I don't.
It's okay, Pon'n. You've already come this far.
Today has been a day of new experiences, so all right. The thing is, Pon'n has nothing that would help this, so unless, he kind of looks over to Leaf, can you at least give me a boost?
Oh, yeah, I can help. And, without you, once you say help, Leaf has kind of, started to pick you up and, set you on shoulders, sort of thing. And here you go, and then starts pushing you toward the rope to grab it.
What? Okay, this works. This is good. Well, better, anyway.
So do you both go up the side of this rope together?
No, I'm boosting him to get to the rope easier, and then I'll follow after.
Okay, sounds good. So,
don't want to backpack him.
Climbing is definitely not in Pon's wheelhouse.
all right. So as you grab this rope, Bloddy, you leap off the other side of the wall there, and as you're falling, Pon'n, you're being just sucked up towards the top of this wall at a rather quick pace, much faster, I think, than you anticipated. And you're just kind of up the side of this wall. And you make it up to the top barely. You're scrambling to get up to the side, and you do make it.
Okay. That worked. Somehow. And then looking to Bloddy like, well, do I come down or do what? What do I do?
You gotta do the same thing for Leaf now.
Okay, so there's more. Got it. All right. Well then, yeah, Pon'n will make sure that spools out the rest of the rope and prepares to try and be Leaf's counterweight now.
Sure. How does that work, Leaf? Does that work out for you?
At least Pon'n offers. This is the thing. Like, yeah.
Yeah. Probably seeing that you getting down without having me as your counterweight isn't probably going to work. Because Leaf was honestly about to go and just walk around and go in the entrance. But seeing that you probably can't get down now, if I go do that, yeah, Leaf.
You can always call for the guards for help if you need it.
Are you calling for the guards? I mean, like, what?
Yeah, but Leaf grabs the rope and works to basically counterweight you down, and then whenever at the top, Leaf will just climb down.
All right. Yeah. You're a tapper. This is nothing for you.
Yeah.
Tappers in Issliss are heavily trained at climbing. It's basically the entire job. That and making sure that you don't die when you're up there. Once you make your way down the side of the wall, the interior side of the wall, Leaf, all three of you are now together. And you are here inside of the entrance of this Taz Company mine. It appears empty. You can see no one here.
I think I'm gonna give myself distance and sneak ahead to make sure that there is no one there, and then like wave them forward, sort of like in stages.
Okay, sure, yeah. We'll make that a check of 10. You're skilled in the skill known as you're proficient in the skill known as stalk. It gives you a +5 to your roll. So we'll give you a 3d6 and the check to beat will 10. Check is 10. 12 easily. Yeah, you easily beat it. It's 12 plus 5, so 17. As you as you're just sort of creeping along this grass up to the rocky entrance of the mine, you can see or hear no one, but you do notice that the door of the mine has been left slightly ajar, and you can see footsteps going in.
I would very much like to look for evidence, specifically like how many people are here. You'd probably see Leaf actually kind of like get down low onto the ground to look at this and see how many boot prints, all of those details, just to know what we're getting into. I do have an ability which will help after if I find anything of Bloodhound, which will let me know where a target has been, where they're going, and a rough idea what they're doing if I find evidence.
Sure. Evidence is trivially easy to find, so you won't have to roll to find the footprints that Bloddy has already confirmed are there. As you walk up to the mine entrance, using Bloodhound, a skill common among the Order of the Hound, you automatically know where a target has recently been, where they're going, and a rough idea of what they were doing if you find evidence of their presence. And you see a set of 2 footprints in the ground, matching the foot shape and size of the boots worn by corpsemen. You're reasonably certain that 2 corpsemen have recently walked into this mine, and you do not see a set of footprints leaving corresponding to those. You notice, with this skill, that the boot prints are unusually heavy, as though they were carrying something big. A lot of weight.
Well,
My friend,
These
I have
are-
a plan.
Oh, you do?
I do. Okay.
Well, I'm all ears as I get up off of the ground.
So you just did investigation. How many people does it seem like there is?
Oh, there's only 2. They were carrying something heavy, probably whatever they got from the apothecary.
Perfect. So they're tired, right? And we got a door right here. Okay. If we make a little bit of noise, get them to come out the door. Somebody slam the door on one of them. Well, one of us grabs their arm. Okay. We could like break their arm or beat them up or something while they're jammed in that door. The other one won't be able to fight. And then it's 2 3-on-1s instead of 2-on-3.
Maybe. The only flaw I see in this plan is the closer we are to the town, the more noise that could be made, and then those 2 become many. Breaking an arm kind of causes the screamings.
Also, simply a sign of aggression against the corpseman doesn't seem like a solid plan.
Yeah, I'd have to maybe move towns. I like the work here.
All 3 of you know that the distance between this mine and the rest of the corporate exclusion zone for Tazco is far enough to where you probably wouldn't be able to hear most screaming. So it's not necessarily the biggest problem if there was a lot of screaming. And you probably, if you were screaming, you doubt somebody would come to help you because they probably couldn't hear you. And also they wouldn't want to.
But also, why are we attacking them? I thought we were blackmail.
I just thought we were following and watching.
I mean, you only need one person to blackmail. I mean, look, I get it. If y'all are here to make friends, I totally understand. I've lived in this town for a while. I don't have a ton of friends. Don't know how friendly the folks are. But, like, I'm only one. I'm just making suggestions.
Maybe we see what's happening first. Maybe. Also, if we do hurt them but they're conscious and able to do things afterward, they'll just tell. We'd not terribly keen on killing them if we don't have to, but I wouldn't want anyone to report back.
I mean, they wouldn't be the first mysterious death in the mines, you know.
No, that's true, but again, maybe a bit aggressive, especially because, again, we did just meet you. You know.
You're right. I'm sorry. We should just walk in there and ask them what they're doing.
I mean, I was thinking about that.
Observation and information are important. Yes. Maybe observation first. Just to see what they're up to. That could be useful information that would inform any interrogation that you might do.
And then if they happen to attack us, then that's when your suggestion may indeed come in handy.
All right, well, I'll follow y'all's lead.
All right. You're very good at the sneaking around, I've noticed. Do you want to keep doing that, or do you want to just walk with us?
I think I can just walk with you guys. I mean, if they're within range that we can hear them, I don't think there's that much sneaking that we can really do with a door between us and them.
It's true. All right. And Leaf just starts walking deeper into the mine.
As they walk into the mine, I'm going to be behind them, and I'm going to have my knife ready.
All right, so we're all going into the mine?
Great.
Well, it's Pon'n.
All right. Pon'n, are we going into the mine?
Sure.
All right.
We're here now. So,
Are you sure?
I mean, we didn't. Yeah, we know there's. We haven't heard. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. This bad idea day is what's happening. Yeah.
You open the door to the mine. Walk through. It's very dark inside. The light from the door you've just walked through casts a very dim source of light through the entryway to this mine. Leaf, I'm gonna have you make another, actually no, so you have that perk where you have the ability for,
I can't be surprised.
no, you have the ability to be a bloodhound, the ability.
Ah, yes.
And I'll just call this the extension of your previous bloodhound use, since it relates to the exact same thing.
Right.
As you walk through the mine into the entranceway, you notice that your boots have become a little wet. This isn't entirely unusual. Sometimes water is trucked into these mines, carted in on rails. But it doesn't seem to be water. You smell something flammable. The corpseman footprints lead just a little way ahead, around a corner. Does anyone have a source of light?
I mean, probably a small one, due to the cook set I have.
Okay, sure. Yeah.
Would it be
You have like
small?
a teeny tiny little torch.
Yeah,
For your
it's
cook
like a
set.
little fire starter.
Like a little tiny fire starter. You can make a teeny tiny torch and have a teeny tiny little view.
Although, is it the flammable scent? Does that smell of gas or does it smell of like a fuel source?
A fuel source.
Okay, that's the distinct. Didn't want to just blow us all up.
It doesn't
with any
smell like
moment.
gas. It smells like some sort of fuel source. And you
All right.
have a feeling it's on the ground.
Yeah. So I'd light that, but kind of keep it like hooded, so to speak, so that it's not flickering down the hallway or the cavern.
You ignite your little torch. And you can see boot prints from the corpseman leading up around a little corner. And as you enter a little bit further, you see on the ground a boot with a leg attached just around a little corner. Do you investigate it further?
Oh yeah, definitely.
As you get a little further, you find more of the corpseman. It is no longer alive. He's appears to have been flayed in certain parts. His arms, skin has been like torn away from his arms. There's little bits of flesh kind of like hanging off of his bones. The face and cheeks are mostly gone. You find another body next to him. This corpseman too has been a little flayed, but looks at you as you approach. Sputters and coughs and blood comes out of his mouth.
What did this to you?
Demon, that bastard, told us to come in here and light the mine on fire so that we could steal some supplies. We got a shipment from Tazco and brought all the equipment here, and we were supposed to light the mine on fire. Hangman, that bastard didn't tell us there was blow crabs here. Oh, God.
Okay then. And I back away a bit.
You hear
And
something from deeper within the mine. It's getting louder.
Can I throw one of my throwing knives blindly off to where it is?
Would you like to?
Yes. I'm firing my magic missile into the darkness. So to speak.
Yeah, you can. Sure. How many of these throwing knives you got? You have 10?
I have 10 of these throwing knives.
All right, you can throw one, and then as soon as you do, we're gonna roll for initiative. Go ahead and make me a roll. It'll be a 3d6, and it's completely dark down there, so it'll be a challenge of 20. You get a +5. Actually, no, you don't. You get a +4, and you have to roll 2d6 because you're not proficient at ranged weapons.
Oh, damn.
Just double check here.
Is that even possible?
Oh no,
No.
Sorry. Knife throwing blades count as a ranged weapon. That's right. Okay. Let's try it. Roll a 2d6 +4. You have to hit 20. I don't
Yep.
think. Yeah, it is.
Yeah,
is
good,
that?
That's
good
not-
luck.
that's
That's
literally
impossible.
It's not possible.
Yeah.
Do you still want to waste your throwing knife, or?
I mean, I feel like at this point, I've already said it, and that's like commitment to the bit.
All right, here we go. So you panic and roll a 14. It's not quite enough. You throw this throwing knife, and it hits against the side of the wall, and you just hear another, even louder. I'll need everyone to roll initiative. Initiative in Issliss is rolled with a 1d6. Every character rolls a 1d6. Keep track of your numbers. Pon'n, your number is 2. Leef, your number is 1. Bloddy, your number is 3. Enemy numbers are 4. Oh, I'm so sorry. I was looking at the wrong screen. Was it 4? Well, just enemy numbers are 6 and 3. All right. Did anyone roll the same number?
No.
Very well.
Doesn't look like it, no.
All right. Initiative is rolled from the. Let me just double check here. Just want to make sure that I don't get this wrong. The highest roll goes first, and the lowest roll goes last. So the highest roll here is a 6. The party, you find flickering in the darkness before you. Just the outline. A large shape, much larger than you. It's wobbling. It appears unstable, and every step, you can see it moving in the darkness. lies before you is known as a bloat crab. Bloat crab is in zone 2. It cannot reach you. And it uses a turn to come ever closer. You see its body, hulking mass, this huge creature, using the bits and pieces of the sides of the wall to just scoot its whole body even closer. It is now within close range. What's the next highest roll?
I believe they.
I rolled a 3.
Yeah, Bloddy.
Bloddy is a 3. What did you get, Leaf? You got a 1?
1.
And then, Pon'n, you got a 2?
2.
Okay. Alrighty. Bloddy, your turn. What do you decide to do?
All right. I'm gonna use my passing strike to jump towards the other side of the bloat crab, so we're kind of like on both sides of it then, and stab it in the back.
So, passing strike is a major action. You also gain 1 stress when you use it. I'll add 1 stress to your character sheet. Passing strike says any melee weapon attack versus defense, make an attack as you move to the opposite side of your target. As you're stabbing it with your knife, which is a light weapon, you are proficient in this. You'll roll a 3d6 with a +5. You roll a 13. Your 13 is divided into, you've rolled a 6, a 4, and a 3. How combat works in Issliss is that attacking requires just 1 3d6 roll. In order to do damage, you must get a higher number than your opponent's defense. You have done so with your attack attempt. The sum of all 3 dice added to your total weapon skill appropriate for that attack. So because you roll a 13, you get a +5 with light weapons. That brings the total up to 5, 6, 7, 8, 18. That beats the defense of the enemy. Because you are using a light weapon, you take the total of the second highest die. Oh no, it looks like the dice have changed. I don't know why they did that, but the second highest of yours was a 4. Is that right?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So you take 4. You deal 4 damage as you stab the bloated mass, which is facing away from you now, and you notice that it's sort of leaking onto you. You can't feel whether it's burning you or not. The adrenaline is kind of pumping through your system. But you have managed to stab it, and it is pretty pissed. The bloat crab is dealt 4 damage. Next is that you notice from deeper within the mine another one. And this one appears to be with eggs. You can see just behind in this massive bubble that it's carrying around in its back, it's sort of see-through and viscous. You can see hundreds of eggs in the back of this creature. and it is also pissed. It uses its turn to come right up behind you, Bloddy. Next is Pon'n. Pon'n, what do you do?
Run.
You would like to run.
That is a no-brainer. Yeah, essentially trying to get the bearings and just go back the way we came.
Okay, you would like to. So you start to panic.
It's a civilized panic, but it's definitely panic.
Okay. It's a civilized panic.
Yeah. There hasn't been a whole lot. It's just been a lot of shock, and apprising the situation. Pon'n is like, I am not built for this. Gonna go.
Pon'n, as you're running away, you almost trip over a supply cache. It's the box that these corpsemen were bringing in to the mine, and it's open. And as you look further into the box, you can see a set of 6 alloy pickaxes. You also find two what appear to be arms. Bright, glittering arms. Much fancier than you could possibly have imagined would be delivered here to the Tazco Corporation. They are gleaming in the darkness from the dim light of Leaf's little torch, and they appear, to your eyes, to be as of yet unused and ready to accept a host.
So how do arms work?
These arms are bioaugmentations. They are created from a human skin safe alloy, and they attach to your body in a very physical way. They sort of just enter your skin down to your bone in several key places and accept musculature from your bones as a method of a control surface. These arms in particular are there's one arm that's designed for mining. It's got a drill on it. There's another arm that has several tentacles on it that aid in lifting. They would probably add to your might. They are of an excellent quality, and they have yet to be used. You can't find any evidence of blood or skin or bones on them. Applying it would take hardly any time at all. Removing it, however, would probably take some time and some skill.
Yeah. Knowing that there was delivery, seeing that this is what's in the box, thoughts are still of leaving, but Pon'n does just basically yell, like, there are weapons here? They're for mining, but you can use them for weapons, and is still focused on leaving.
So you found the supply cache, you almost stumbled over it, and you just shouted, "There's some weapons here!" And you're still kind of like, leaving, backing away towards the entrance.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Leaf, it's your turn.
Okay. Because I don't know. We haven't really figured out what a lot of our own possessions are. I know I have, like, climbing equipment and things, of course. But I'm more skilled in things that are lighter and thrown. I don't think Unless they're a very light alloy, I don't think pickaxes are considered a light weapon, correct? Depends on the alloy, truly.
Let me double check.
Because if I would, since I've been in town for about a month, I'd hope I'd have a rough idea. Because if I think it's light, I'll grab it. If I think it's heavy, I'm not going to mess with it.
The pickaxes probably are more tools than weapons.
Yeah.
Yeah, they probably wouldn't do much more than, any other light weapon.
Yeah, right.
But these arms could do something.
Yeah, that is interesting. I would definitely run over and take a look.
Sure.
A drill arm doesn't sound very appealing, because how you gonna grab anything with a drill?
Yeah.
But this weird tentacle arm, that could be very nice for the trees.
Okay. Yeah. This tentacle arm, you understand this tentacle arm to give you a +1 to your might score.
Might score. I see, yes. I do have a question, though.
Mm-hmm.
Just about this town real quick.
Mm-hmm.
If I were to say, have this on my arm and walk out with it on my arm as a replacement, is that you are now going to get arrested immediately, you shouldn't have that? Or it's you have that, it's installed on you, it must have been yours?
You know these implements to be tools of the Kasat, right? This is tools that are bestowed upon human workers who are loyal to the Kasat. And so you know that if you do walk out with one, it won't be that you'll be arrested. You'll just be assumed to be a collaborator. So you'll take a penalty to persuading humans, I think.
Oh, that's already terrible. That don't matter. That's just... I'm not good at that anyway. Everyone stays away because of the berries. One more thing. With my lack of maybe street smarts, we'll put it that way. I immediately grab this arm and slap it on me.
All right, sure.
The
Yeah.
tentacle one specifically, and I'm sure it's horribly excruciating.
As you do, you know that the tentacles are folded up around themselves. They are metallic in nature, segmented, and as you apply it to your shoulder, you begin to feel an itching, a burning sensation, and it gets worse and worse and worse. You'll take a -1 to your health, and it starts drilling into your bones. You feel it in several places along your arm, getting deeper and deeper into your skin before the metal and your skin functionally become one. The tentacle now, as your arm is dripping from blood and some kind of viscous fluid, effluvium, you find that the tentacles have now unfurled, making your arm slightly longer. And you can feel a sense of oneness with them. It's almost as though your mind has become instantly attuned to the extra length and heft of this device. You gain +1 might, and you take a -1 to human persuasion.
All right, I've added the 1 to might. I guess I'll need to get to proficient in that eventually.
Sure. You can do a minor action on this turn if you like.
Let's see. I think then... what minor actions could I do then?
So you could move, you could jump, you could stand up, hide, fall prone, take cover. You could fire a ranged weapon. You could...
I don't know if I have one. We haven't discussed it, so...
Okay. You could use an item, grab an item, or toss an item.
I think, yeah, well, so my thought there, I've got this cool arm now, that's got a little more reach. I might, I have what's called quick reload, and while I don't have a ranged weapon, there are some nice pickaxes that maybe could be thrown at one point. Would you consider me grabbing one and reload?
Yeah, I'll allow it. Absolutely, that's an excellent idea. Absolutely.
All right, so I reload with my tentacle arm now.
Sure.
and grab grab a pickaxe and ready myself.
Okay, yeah. So we'll just roll you a 3d6. You'll get a +5 because you're trained in ranged weapons.
I'm able to attack with it? I thought that the reload was just the minor.
Oh wait, let me see. You might be right.
Yeah, it's a minor action to reload, which is what I was doing, like readying myself.
All right, so yeah, okay, good catch. Sorry, I didn't see it.
No,
yeah,
that's all right.
You do. You have it ready, and it's cocked back and ready to go.
All right. So there you go, Pon'n. Thanks for letting me know that there is a nice new arm for me. This will be great for climbing.
The next turn is the bloat crab, the one that was injured by Bloddy. It is screaming, wildly flailing, and turns right around onto you, Bloddy. It uses an attack called Bite on you. Let's see here. 14. That's a 5, 5, and a 4. Oh no. What is your defense, Benny?
My defense is 12.
Oh no. The bloat crab easily brushes past whatever defense you may have thought you could do and hits you for 5 damage with a bite. Its jaws, its massive jaws open up. You can see like 3, 4 different sets of mandibles coming out and snapping closed towards you. A couple of them get your skin, tear a little bit off the shoulders. You take 5 damage. It stings really badly. Next up is you. What do you do?
I'm gonna do the same thing that I did the last turn, which is I'm gonna do my passing strike, except for this time I'm gonna go back on the other side
Okay.
of the crab and stab it as I jump towards the other side of it. And as I do that, I'm also gonna shout out, "Thanks for all the help, Pon'n."
You take another point of stress, and you roll a 3d6 with a light weapon. That's a +5 for your character sheet. You roll a 10 +5, that's 15. That beats the crab's defenses of 12, so it does land. You take the second highest die, which in this case is a 3. And you deal 3 damage to the creature. And again, it right in its back, it screams in pain, clawing at the air, and is really upset at you. Its little bit of you is still in its mouth. Now it knows it's got your number. You can hear the goo like just sort of pouring out the back. Next up is the other bloat crab. It's stuck on the wall, and its huge, enormous body is just stuck in the mine, and it's clawing its way out, and it's screaming, trying to get at you. You can see its mandibles already like drooling, and it's snapping closed. It's trying to get you, but it is stuck for the moment. Pon'n, you're up. What's your turn? You're still running away?
Ooh. That stings a little bit. Probably not as much as Bloddy's stinging right now, but the call out did. It wasn't great. So I think, let's see. I think I'm going to use a combat tactic call out.
Okay.
Which it's a persuasion versus detect, and it unnerves the target and causes one stress. Is gonna Pon'n doesn't really know what to do in this situation, but now does feel a little bit bad because apparently he still has feelings, and like turns around and like looks at the big bloat crab and just like this high pitched shriek. Like it's not really it's almost like, oh wait, is he afraid? Is like what's going on? And yeah, he's essentially trying to distract and make it distracted so that if Bloddy's going to move, they have room to, like, at least they have a little more opportunities. So yeah, I'm gonna give that a shot.
Okay, sure. Let's do that. So, could you read to me your ability called Call Out one more time?
Certainly. It is Persuasion versus Detect. That's a major action, and on success, it unnerves the target and causes 1 stress.
Okay.
So I'm attempting to unnerve the bloat crab.
This is normally something that you would do to like another human or like a sentient species. I'll allow it with this bloat crab. So instead of rolling against its detect, because since it doesn't have one, we're just going to roll against its temperament. So, so yeah, we'll allow it. So this is just a straight check, actually. We won't even have to roll for this. Your oh my god, one more time. What was the skill you were rolling against?
Sorry, I'm using Persuasion, and
okay, your Persuasion
versus their. Yeah,
so you are not skilled in Persuasion to animals, so it'll be 2d6, but you get a +6 just for being, for being so charismatic. On your character sheet, you have a +6 anyway, even though you're not proficient. So you're gonna roll 2d6 for this. You'll have to beat it. You have to beat a 2. So. That's 5 + 6, so 11. That you successfully heal off this screeching noise from outside. For the briefest of moments, Leaf, you feel like you're also surrounded by like another bloat crab. Pon'n, you are now running away and screaming, and you've unnerved. You've unnerved the bloat crab before you.
It echoes, so it's a mine.
It's, absolutely. What happens to the bloat crab again? It's unnerved.
They're unnerved.
Okay.
So in this case, it's mainly it's sort of just trying to distract or throw them off, because that's the best approximation in this moment.
All right, sure.
Gives the stress, you said, yeah.
If bloat crabs have stress, yeah, mechanically.
Yeah. Okay, so you've successfully unnerved this bloat crab. Leaf, it's your turn.
All right. With the pickaxe in my new arm, I kind of level it back and do one of those, the axe throwing, where you just get it over and over so that the pick itself will hopefully sink right into this bloat crab.
Okay.
So that is the goal there.
All right. Since you're throwing this not with your regular arm, but with a prosthetic, basically, bio augment, I'm gonna let you take the second highest die for this, like a light weapon. So we're gonna have you roll a 3d6. That's an 8. The second highest die is a 2. But you get a plus. Let's see, you get a plus
5
for range. Yeah, so that's enough to do damage. You deal 2 damage to bloat crab, and it actually is enough. You end up getting it right in between its mandibles. This axe pierces through the bottom half of its face, and you can just see the thing start to slump over as its claws and pincers are going as fast as it can. It's freaking out, and it just begins to start oozing. The other bloat crab is still stuck in the back behind in the mine, but it doesn't appear to be necessarily making any progress. In fact, you feel as though it might be stuck there for good.
For the minor action I have left, I grab another pickaxe
Sure.
to reload.
Sure. You notice that the creature is with eggs, and it is screaming in pain almost, fervently angry. There's blood all over it from eating one of the corpsemen. You suspect that there's a nest back there somewhere. And it's still just as violently angry as ever. It's still screaming, but it's beginning to calm down, knowing that the end is probably near. Combat is now over. Bloddy.
Guys, I don't feel too good.
Yeah, that kind of, you got the few lacerations there.
As you look over to Bloddy, you notice that the bloat crab that is on the ground had one long claw coming right through Bloddy's torso. It extends a good, arm length through your body, and you slump down to your knees, and you look up to Leaf, and off in the distance to Pon'n at the door.
Yeah, that's pretty bad.
You begin to cough blood.
Yeah, very bad. Huh. Well, I have nothing that I could do for that. And our friend who happens to be a battle medic of some kind is not here.
The sucking wound is getting worse, and you're bleeding heavily now, Bloddy. Your skin is now getting lighter in color, and your eyes are leaving focus. Do you say anything? Any last words?
Pon'n, why did you run away? Cough.
Pon'n, what do you do? Oh, you're muted. You're very muted. Oh.
No, I was just not speaking as Pon'n had come back a little ways because, he did not hear the sounds of people running after him, and I didn't. That's not. That's not what I. I'm sorry.
Pon'n,
Yeah.
you turn around and leave, right? Do you end up leaving this morning?
There is this moment where, again, his face goes passive and neutral, and he turns around and kind of determinedly walks towards the exit of the mine.
And the last... Oh, yeah, Bloddy.
Oh.
Oh, sorry, no, Leaf, sorry.
No, you're alright.
Couldn't tell who was talking.
No, Leaf would walk over and kind of do like a pat on the shoulder. You're like, sometimes, nature wins, eh?
Bloddy, the light is fading fast. Do you have anything left to say?
That's so true, Leaf. That's so true. And that's it. That'll be my last words.
Bloddy passes away. In a heap on the floor in a forgotten mine, among the dead bloat crab, among all of the implements, and among the dead corpsemen, and the fuel all around you. A brings us to the end of today's episode. Tune in next week to see Issliss, episode 4. I want to give a big thank you to our cast, Urban Bohemian, Domestic Dan, and Benny.Gay. Y'all are wonderful. Excellent job. If you would like to support Issliss on Kickstarter, we are live right now. Click on the link in chat. We'll also have a link for you in whatever description field you're viewing this episode on. You can find all of our VODs here on Twitch and on YouTube. You can also find our podcast anywhere podcasts are consumed. Follow the Kickstarter and check us out every Friday at noon Pacific for Issliss. Thank you again, and we'll see you all again next time here at Fable Scraps. Good night, everyone.